Well, I think my fellow angels have been a bit wussy on this one. You know, I would never discourage you from going big. It's either go big or go home.
Oh, here we go.
Hello and welcome to Property Elevator. We've got some brilliant deals in store for you today. Let's get straight to it. Johan, welcome to Property Elevator.
Thank you very much.
And what have you brought in terms of your deal?
We have brought an office conversion located in Bedfordshire.
And how much investment do you need from the angels?
Up to $1 million.
How much profit do you think that you could bring our angels?
2.4 million to 3.6 million.
And why did you actually apply for the show?
We want to provide young professionals with more quality living. So we're looking to take a step up. Hello angels, my name is Johan and I'm very excited to be here with you today. We see co-living as one solution to the shortage of homes that the UK are experiencing. This type of accommodation provides quality homes while helping people manage the increasing cost of living. We are here today seeking a business partner for a new co-living startup. The deal presented is an office conversion, which we're looking to retain fully. So our vision for this building is to keep ground floor as an open community lounge with appropriate companion business to provide vitality for the co-living, like a cafe or gym or offices or yoga studio. It's going to be a car-free development, and we're looking to occupy the ground floor. The upper floors will contain serviced co-living with ensuite rooms between 20 to 25 square meters. A communal kitchen, utility room, and work and relax spaces. We're also looking to add an additional 1 or 2 stories, and we're looking to acquire this subject to planning. So the property is 25,000 square foot. We've based our calculations on 2.1 million, which is 82 per square foot.
Believe it or not, property and property projects are all about the people and the people that are involved in those projects. So great people, good people, can create value, great value, out of bad property. So for me, I'm interested to know about you, your background, why you're doing this opportunity.
So I come from a software development background, which is very similar, solving problems, finding solutions, learning something new every day. This one in particular, we got from an off-to-market campaign. We received a response to a different building, and they said, this is not for sale, but we may have this one.
And have you done something similar before?
No. So it's a big step up for us.
Great, so just on your market section within the pack, great pack by the way, you've got 87 available and 151 people looking. Is that spare rooms?
Yes.
Have you looked at any other platforms?
No.
No. Do you think that shows good demand?
Yes, only 9 of those are en suites.
So the en-suites are what missing in this market?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
And then what we're creating is superior in size and quality.
Okay.
So I would say it's a comparable.
So you're creating 60 to 88 rooms?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And just remind me the rent on those per room?
900.
900.
I don't see anything in here about the feasibility of actually getting the planning. So has a proper feasibility been done by a planning consultant?
No.
Not at this stage?
No.
So the offer is subject to planning with nothing down, but obviously the planning fees will have to be put up to get up to that level.
The cream of this development is in the 2 extra floors, right? So if you can only do 1 extra floor, the development is much less profitable?
No, I wouldn't say so, no. Given the conversion cost isn't out of balance, we've still deducted 30% on GDV.
Okay.
So it stacks on each floor, but it makes more on the uppers.
And the ideal scenario is the GDV is about 12 million. Is that right as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the costs, the bulk of which being the conversion costs, obviously, and the extra floors, where have those costs come from? As in, you've got a figure here per square foot, but how have you come up with that figure?
We've entered those. So we haven't done much research in it. We had a QS come in, but he didn't deliver. He costed something we didn't.
So
really
they're
ask
your
for.
estimates.
They are, yeah. So this is
that based upon previous experience or talking to a builder, or where do they come from?
Based on asking other people and hearing from education and doing research and stuff like that. But they're very much, the budget here is very much, we need to validate those figures. And if they work, this is what we're getting out of it.
Yeah, I think that would be my main concern looking at those numbers, because they seem to be about 30% light.
Oh yeah.
Which equals about £2 million.
On the existing building or the additional?
Both. They're both about 30% light.
Okay.
I think Paul's being a bit harsh there. You've got to start somewhere, Paul.
No, I understand,
you've got to get your education.
I was trying to get these numbers to stack up, and it's quite difficult to do it when you add in that extra build cost.
No, very valid.
I think it's important on any project to sensitise the numbers, that they work either up or down. So you go into the transaction with your eyes wide open as to what could or could not happen.
Can I just check, the 12 million GDV, is that based off the revenue or?
Yes, it is, yeah. That's part of the first table. So the tables they kind of build upon each other to arrive at the budget.
Okay, but it's all shared living, or have we got a mixture of apartments?
No, so we've been very light on the ground floor. So we've put a monthly rent on 5,000. If we rent it to ourselves, we can control rental levels. If we were to rent it to restaurants and stuff like that, we'd be able to increase the value on the ground floor significantly.
Are you struggling to find your next commercial to residential conversion project? Well, over the next 2 years, virtually every UK bank branch will close. Banks are fabulous buildings in prime locations, and thanks to permitted development rights, they're really easy to convert to alternative uses under a light touch planning regime. My team have put together a list of over 500 UK bank branches which are poised for imminent closure. And for a limited period only, you can download this list absolutely free. Your next commercial property project is on this list, so download it now and enjoy the rest of the video.
Can I just make a point about what is being planned on the ground floor, which is obviously this is a co-living space, and to expect, whether it's yourselves or independent operators, to come in and run businesses from the ground floor, they've got to be making profits.
Yeah.
So if in terms of the footfall, in terms of the usage, in terms of what gets bought and traded within the shops and cafes that you're proposing, there's got to be something in it for them. Yeah. There's lots of examples of these kind of schemes where the ground floor operators that were expected actually don't make any money, and that means the whole scheme can fall over.
Okay, listen, I think we've had enough chit chat about this one. What are we thinking? Nick, who wants to start us off? Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I think you've done really well. I think you've done a really good pack. There's a lot of detail to it. And as I said to Paul, you've got to start somewhere, guesstimates, education. You've said that you would need to get a QS. So I think before any firm deal is struck with the vendor, you need to get your QS in as well, pay a little bit of money there. You're going to have to invest a few pounds to get that surety on your numbers to make sure the deal does work. And you don't waste their time. You investing in property, you don't want to waste the vendor's time, you get a bad reputation. So when we offer, we stand by our offers. I think.
So are you in? Oh, wow.
Well, with a QS report, I might be, Ranjan, but
keep towing it around there.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
Thinking about it.
This one is right up my alley. I'll tell you 2 reasons why I'm not going to make you an offer. One is, I don't believe the layout you've got will be accepted. I think it is too intensive. I think you need to make more of that ground floor, putting in the right kind of tenants for a co-living block, not just a chip shop or a normal shop, something that's not related to the building. So I think you need a more cohesive scheme. I think you've got too many rooms for the communal areas, and I think that will come up at the planning stage. And secondly, it's a little bit big. So those are the main 2 reasons. There's a few more, but I think you're great. I think you're very investable. I think it's a bit big for you at your time in your journey. But yeah, I wish you all the best going forward. Maybe one of the others will feel differently.
Who wants to have a go
jump
next?
In. I mean, compliment you on the pack. You've done a great level of work here, especially for someone who hasn't done a building of this scale before. So I agree with Nick. I think you've done a good job and you're very investable. I also agree with Nick that I think this is a big step up, and you said it yourself. It's a big step up. Obviously some concerns around the costs, and I think you definitely will find when you do get a good QS that those costs will jump up quite a lot, and that will pretty much, from what I can see, wipe out the profits. And on that basis, it doesn't make sense for me.
Ellie?
Yeah. So I agree with everyone else. I think that your costs are quite light. Paul's bang on. I get about 30% light on both scenarios as well. I think it's a great scheme, and it's something that I would like to look at. However, I think your 12 million GDV based off the revenue, if we're only looking at around the 88 rooms, I think it was maximum. I think that's massively over.
We based we based it on 10% cap rate on the ground floor and 8.5% on the upper floors.
Yeah. I'd be happy to look at a deal like this, but I don't think that your numbers stack up. I think that you could work with an architect and get a much better layout. I would do cluster flats, as Nicholas said. I think that would work a lot better. Several cluster flats, so you still got kind of like studios but a communal space, but you're splitting it up so it's not an 88 bed shared living apartment as such.
Spot on, yeah.
So it would feel a little bit more homely. I think the scheme looks great. However, with the information I've got in front of me now, and with all due respect, lack of information you have on the ground floor tenancies and things like that, I wouldn't be able to make an offer at this moment in time.
Scott?
So look, you're somebody who's clearly on a journey. You've got other stuff going on at the moment. This is a big step, doing a building like this. The costs are understated in the pack, but there are other opportunities and things to do with this building. So, looking through the numbers, existing usage as a commercial property, looking at the rent that's coming in, whether the tenants are inside or outside of the act with the rights or not to renew, it's not a bad yield at just under 7%. Okay, so actually an opportunity to renegotiate the purchase price, bring that down a bit, and then look at whether the tenants are inside or outside the act, whether they've got the rights to renew, get the planning for an alternative use, re-look at it, and there are some options with this building, but this is quite a long-term project. I think it is a big project to take on, particularly at your stage in your journey. So therefore, it's not one for me. But I wish you all the very best with it, and good luck.
Well, I think my fellow angels have been a bit wussy on this one. I would never discourage you from going big. It's either go big or go home.
Oh, here we go.
So if you'd come to us with a feasibility report, a proper feasibility report, then I think you'd find that a lot of us angels, knowing what's feasible, can then help you shape the proposal and get the optimum development on there from an entrepreneurial point of view. And for that reason, there's not enough information for me to assess the proposal. But I know you're early on in your career, and the steps that you've followed, I think, have been absolutely fantastic. And the methodology you've followed is the one to follow, but always think big. I mean, the trouble with co-living is that at the end of the day, you've got another tenant nicking the cheese out of your fridge.
No, we've moved on from those types of co-living spaces, Ranjan.
Don't compare us all to the HMO you live in.
In actual fact, it's becoming more and more popular, and a lot of internationals go for co-living because they want that ready-made community.
Some property owners provide high-quality living.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about a whole load of rooms in an old office block. It's actually about, Taco Tuesday and Freaky Friday, and it's the community element of it.
Well, that's all very well, but let's see what John Howard has to say.
Now, every angel has their expertise, and in this one, I think I'd listen to Hayley because she's the expert on service accommodation. What Scott knows about it, goodness knows, or even Ranjan. He purports to have a number of these, but he seems to be more obsessed, as you know, with commercial and residential than anything else. But Hayley's a very smart lady, and I would always take the advice from her. If I was sitting next to her and she said, this is too big a scheme, etc., etc., I'd take her advice, and looks like they all did.
So Johan, how did you find the whole experience today?
It was good. It was fun. It was nerve-wracking, but yeah, it was good.
The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers, and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.